guys have got jokes. What's up, everybody? Alpha spiked. I see you guys up in chat. Bon Boy. What's up, Sleepy Ollie? Yeffy, what's good? Yeffy beat Yeffy beat Raz up in chat today. Uh-oh. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, brother. Dodo, I see you. What's happening, fam? MaxF is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers and listeners like you. Look at this dude starting to look like an army ranger. Ranger! Uh-oh. It is getting pretty thick, though. The mustache is in. There is a mustache, chat. Did I enter for the Aurora? I'm not even envisioning the Aurora right now. Is that the AIO3 TKL? I have a feeling that's the AIO3. It's not going to be the Corsair Aurora. That's not what you're talking about. Ah, the one by Oblotsky. The one by Oblotsky. No, I did not enter for the Aurora. But maybe one of those will come across my desk. We'll see. Got my MT3 Serica. There we go. Yeah, MT3 is too scooped for me as well. I can understand that. What's up, chat? I hope everyone's doing good. John, I see you. What's happening, everybody? Thank you so much for the compliments on the mustache. Oh yeah, it's getting there. Atticus, good to see you, brother. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of MaxF Live. You found your way to the keyboard lounge, as it were. Nothing but good vibes, relaxed down-tempo jazz, and some keyboard builds. Oh yeah. My red beard hairs are the angriest, most aggressive ones on my face. They hurt? Your red beard hairs hurt? What's up, Jax? Good to see you, brother. You need to start conditioning. Get into a better conditioning routine. Mine is kind of like tamed and combed down right now. It's definitely getting pretty big though. I like combing mine. Once the beard starts to come in, I don't even comb my hair. But when the beard starts to come in, I'll comb that. No joke, I've got red, black, brown, and white facial hairs in different spots. No kidding. I've got a little white coming in. A little bit of white coming in. I think it makes me look more refined. That wasn't there last time I grew a beard. Where can I get one of those? Yummy as you. Okay. You're going to have to take that up with your genetics? This is my face. Nice. There's some pandemonium up in that picture. A little bit of everything all over the place. Good luck with that, Jax. Maybe just keep it close cropped then. Maybe the beard's just not for you. I'm looking a little bit red right now. I don't know why. Did my white balance get messed up? Do we need to fix the white balance, chat? My skin tone looks a little bit off. Oh yeah, my hand looks pretty red. You're just as pretty as always. Okay. Oh, you're trying to make me blush. You're trying to make me red. I'm not red right now, but you're trying to make me red. Hold on one second, chat. Enjoy the tunes for just a second. I'm gonna fix white balance. That's better. Just did a custom white balance here. I'm looking a little bit off. I'm looking a little green. Is that better? Is that better or worse? I know my shirt's very green, but I think my skin tone is actually better now. Yeah, skin tone looks a little bit better. I think that's good now. I think we just need to turn this up a little bit. There we go. That looks good. And then turn this guy up a little bit. Level me out. And then turn that down. There we go. I was messing with my camera today. We were doing some YouTube content today, chat. So we've got the camera settings were all over the place. So I think we're good now, though. I think we're looking pretty. The beard is showing up properly in all of its reddish brown glory. There we go. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, chat. Let's get into it here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, as usual, tonight. Wow, I came in at a weird time. Yeah, I'm not even going to explain that one. What's up, Nico? We are going to jump right into it. We've got a keyboard build tonight, chat. What's up, Nico? What's good? We've got the TX84 or 87 with the acrylic layer right in the middle. Let's get to some unboxing here. Here's our PCB. Ooh, it's brand new, fresh, baby. We get to snap this thing apart here. And then, have you guys ever seen this? These are the TX18. These are the TX branded little mini mouse pad or mini keyboard pads. Have y'all seen this before? Just a nice little, like, it's a little mini desk mat. So if you want like none of your desk mat to show, just your keyboard, you just put this right on your desk and your keyboard sits right on top of it. All right, you ready for this? I'm looking a little green. I'm telling you, I'm looking green. I think my white balance messed up a little bit. That's fine though. There is the keyboard right there. Look at that. I wasn't ready. Well, I tried to tell you. Oof. This is a heavy boy. Look at that, chat. Let's see if this one actually shows up. Yeah, it's got like a rose. It's got like a gold cable to it. Oof. Let's see if this one shows up properly. I'll know if my white balance is set well if these colors look right. It's like a champagne gold. It's looking pretty close to right. Look at this. Oh, I put the wrong build description in. Yeah, can you edit that? It's a TX87 SE. So have y'all seen this before? Have you seen one of these? This isn't like brand new. This one's been around for a little bit. Have y'all seen one of these TX87s? Yeah, I think you have editor. If you can just change where I put TX84, change it to TX87. Yeah, this one's been around. This is not a new keyboard. It's a bigger profile for sure. Definitely sits up a bit higher. All right, so we don't need, I already have an acrylic layer in there, so I don't need that other one. So I'm gonna put that guy right here, just off to the side. And yeah, so what this guy does right here, just to show you. So say, for example, if I had no mat on my desk at all, you would just put that below it and ignore the black plastic. But yet, I mean, it pretty much just sits right there. All you would really see is a little bit of the stitching on the sides. Pretty much just sits perfectly right underneath the keyboard. Gives it a little bit of dampening, protects it a little bit. Did we not have bump-ons in here? Where's my little bag of tricks? I do have bump-ons. Let's go ahead and start by putting the bump-ons in here. Oh, okay. I got you. Hold on. Let me go over here to Twitch real quick, chat, and change my build stream. Let me go over here to my channel, mute myself so you don't hear double. And then let's edit this. This is a TX87 SE TKL with Alpacas. There we go. Now we're sitting pretty. Now we've got the right thing set. All right, let's go. Yo, thank you so much for the 4 months there, Twisty Rogue. I appreciate that. Have I ever had a problem with switches sticking after they've been lubed? Sticking? Like are they sluggish or are they like hard stuck? I've not ever had an issue with them becoming hard stuck, but sometimes I've had switches become like sluggish. So that's something to keep an eye on. They only come up after fiddling with them. Yikes. What kind of lube did you use and how much? Oh, do we have 6 bump-ons on this boy? 4 bump-ons with 2 extras. Okay. Yeah, so those extra bump-ons can just stay in there. I love clear bump-ons. Max F5, more like maximum content. Yo, what's up, Kiwi? Thanks, brother. Hey, Jans. I am great. How are you? Look at this TX cable. This thing's kind of cool. Love this 60. What am I looking at? This is the Ogre. The Ogre is the 60% that you're seeing. And then we've got the TX87 SE on the desk right now that we are going to be putting some bump-ons here. And then getting into some stabilizer tuning here in a minute. The switches have already been tuned up for this build. We've got some Alpacas tuned with 205G0 by our very own resident Milk. Oh, thank you. So you use 205G0 and you found that it's really sticking. Well, what kind of switch is it? That's the other question. And were they all like that, or were just one or two of them? Sounds like it's probably too much lube, but it could also be an issue with the leaf. Broken in blueberries, just a couple. So if it's just a couple, if it's kind of inconsistent, I would say you probably just have a little bit of an issue with too much lube on some of them. So here's the TX keyboards microfiber. Nice light microfiber on this one. Easy breezy. Okay. Bump-ons have been installed. Look at that huge brass weight that's in that thing. Brass weight, brass plate. With some Alpacas. And take a look at that side profile. For comparison, you can see how big of an angle it is here in comparison with the Ogre. The Ogre's pretty close to a flat board, whereas this TX is going to sit up at much more of an angle. So I'm going to go ahead and park the TX right here for now. We'll get into it so we can get that plate out here in just a little bit, but for now we'll just park that right there and we'll start by testing our PCB. I would think it would just be a little bit too much lube, but yeah, you might have a leaf issue on some of them if they're sticking kind of like really badly. Yeah, so try cleaning them, and if you need to, try exchanging them out with a different switch. Just try lubing up another couple of blueberries. You might just have a little bit of a QC issue with a couple of them. So here's our PCB. You can see this is one of those types of PCBs that just has a lot of different writing on it. You got like the little enter keys written on there, shift. Kind of has denotation of what each of them are. You see how it has like the letters for each of the alphas and the numbers and F1 and the shift and enter and all that. It's kind of nice. Lets you know which is which. And then yeah, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pop this thing off. If you've not seen this yet, sometimes PCBs will ship with this extra component on it. And yeah, what you want to do is just, carefully kind of bend these and snap them off. This is a build for a client, Hypersam. There we go. So yep, there's one side done. Gets this little white debris all over my desk. Sabus, good to see you, brother. And so yeah, this is just garbage here. And then we've got one more here to do. Go ahead and bend it away from the USB port. There we go. And there we are. PCB is ready to take a look at here. I got a cable here that we can use to test it. So how is everybody? Hope everyone's having a wonderful week. Had a great weekend, I hope. Everyone getting prepped up and ready for the holiday. For those in the United States, celebrating Thanksgiving. A happy holidays to you. And welcome. Welcome to yet another keyboard build here. I was mentioning a minute ago that I was doing some review content on YouTube. I hope before the holidays to release the SP Star Switch review. Thank you, Kiwi King. I appreciate that. So my impressions of the SP Stars, some tuning recommendations, as well as comparisons to some of the other tactiles, and some sound tests with them built up in the Cyberboard. Should be a fun little video. I was recording my intro, outro, and some B-roll for it today. I have a little bit more content to put together, but that should be ready for editing. Vast majority of it should just be ready for editing tomorrow. And yeah, I'll try and publish it Tuesday evening. Anyone considering a new tactile switch? It's a pretty cool PCB here with all of the LEDs already installed for us. As you can see, I've already got the underglow peeking through. And then we also have the TX logo here. I was wondering if I was going to have to install some LEDs for that TX logo that comes through on the top. It looks like that's already taken care of though. So we're doing a standard layout with stepped caps lock tonight. So we'll have the full myriad of stabilizers to tune up for this TKL. I'm loving the K round 2. You know, I actually heard about that. Tire God, good to see you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so my K I'm gonna try and build up here in probably the next week or so. Yeah, it's a fun little board. And the unboxing for it is crazy. I actually have it right here. Have you all seen the box for it? It's such a cool box. This is the accessories box here, but the actual keyboard comes in a box that's identical to this. It's just a really clean box for the K. Monarchy did a great job. Beaming Robot has got some experience with that sort of thing, so I mean he's undoubtedly got a good unbox experience with it. In terms of keycaps, Alpha, I'm going to assume the client's probably going to put on Olivia for this one. And it's a damn shame I don't have Olivia myself. But yeah, this makes a good use case for Olivia for sure. For sure. Haha. Hey keyboard enthusiasts, Justin here. What's up, Justin? Good to see you, brother. Yep, so, okay. PCB's looking good. Let's go ahead and get to some stabilizer tuning. We're just going to jump right into it, chat. No time wasted tonight. Is music not on? Music is on. Oh, excuse me. Music was not on. Good call, Yeffy. Good call, Yeffy, good call. Oh, this is not a good one. That's only part of my loop. I've actually got a lot more. I've got more on the way too. I just put in an order for more 3203, more 3204, 105, and 106 as well. Oh, I didn't see you, Bon Bon Boy. What are the Cristo Lube Crytox equivalents? I've not used Cristo Lube. What, can you explain that lube to me? I've not used it, so I can't speak from experience. We're using Alpacas tonight with yeah, we'll be fine with this. We will want to tune up a single one of these switches, though, for the spacebar. So let's go ahead and get that prepped up right off the bat as well. Here's our Alpacas. These have been all tuned up. Breaking raffles. Nice. Baby Batman knocked out. Oh, nice. Oh, was the music just a little bit too loud? Oh, you know why? The music is too loud because my microphone is too low. Hold on. I actually want to get my microphone fixed because it wouldn't be leveled properly for everyone else if I don't do this. Recalibrate your speakers, everybody. Turn me down for just a second. And test. There we go. All right, we should be back so that I'm the proper volume and I'm no longer competing with music. Yeah, for the voiceover content, I had to turn my my microphone down a little bit. Okay, so these springs are like totally stuck together. There we go. There's a single spring. Yep. Yeah, music volume was good. It was just my microphone that needed to be boosted a little bit. Should be good now. Alrighty. I go step caps, yes. For everything. But, you know, of course there's some that you can't, right? I mean, HHKB has got my only standard board with regular standard caps lock. But stepped is the way I go just about every time, if I can. Alright, so this is going to be our spacebar switch. Chat, if you've never seen this before, we always tune up a spacebar switch with lighter linears with a 90-gram spring. We're going to go ahead and mark that switch with a little bit of a black marking there on the cross so that we don't forget that is what goes in the spacebar. Thank you. Yep, we've got a very green polo on tonight. Rocking out with my Notre Dame colors. Alright, so that has been filmed and lubed with 205G0 already, and we want to grab our bag here and tune up the spring. So this bag has just got a whole myriad of oils in it for the most part. I use caps lock as backspace, so I can't really use a stepped caps. Well, sure you can. It would just be a little bit more of a reach. but I understand that. I wish I could grow a beard. Maybe one day, Justin. Maybe one day you can grow a beard on that baby face. Morad, I do. Yep, GHV4 I like a lot. Look at Max's scruff. So we're gonna have the mustache rocking out here in a couple of nights here, chat. Once I get back from Thanksgiving, I'll have the just the mustache. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for that. Yeah, so GHV4 is kind of similar to like a 205G0. You want to treat it the same way. It is different, obviously. Has a little bit of a couple of different properties. I like it a lot, though. This board is actually built with Gary's and GHV4. So yeah, this is GHV4 on this guy. That was actually my first experience with GHV4. I hadn't used it before. I really liked it. It's a nice lube. 67 Paul McCartney Sgt. Pepper's mustache. Yeah, it's getting there. It's gonna be that Tom Selleck mustache for sure. I could also twist it. I could oil it and twist it. We could use some Krytox 205 and give it a little bit of a twist here. No, twisty stashes are not happy. If you say so, Spiked. My twisty stash was happy. When you touch your beard, it sounds like steel wool. Tom Selleck and a Hawaii t-shirt. I can definitely go for that. I'll throw on my Tommy Bahamas for the next stream. How did that get crooked? Does it really sound like steel wool? Alright, enough beard talk. Let's stay focused. We want to get a set of stabilizers out here. Mods. Alright, we need, for tonight, a 6.25 wire. Boom. I do not breathe, no. I do shampoo and condition it though, so that it doesn't get scratchy. If I don't shampoo and condition it, it gets quite scratchy. At least until it grows out to about this stage. Once it gets to about this stage, then it's fine. You and your wife are missing out. Sounds like maybe I'll need to look into some beard oil. My collection of stabilizer stickers is growing. Nice, there we go. That'll work, Bree. You can send me some beard oil in the next package. Alright, how many stabilizers do we need here for tonight? Alright, we've got left shift, spacebar, right shift, and enter. We need one more. Left shift, spacebar, and enter. We need a couple more of these guys as well. Cannibalizing through all of my stabilizers here. I know I've got enough. Just a matter of finding them. Don't really want to use the orange ones, obviously, or the teal ones. Am I running low on the N9? Might actually be running low on some of the N9s. Say it ain't so. Yeah, we might need to do some cherry clip-in for some of them. Now, how is that possible? Do I really just have a ton of... It looks like I do. I really just have a ton of... Let's see here. We'll keep it consistent. We'll do a full set. How many do I have in here? One, left shift, right shift, enter, backspace, left shift, right shift, enter, backspace, spacebar. Perfect. We'll do that. Keep the stabilizers consistent. So we're not actually using C3s, we're going to use Everglides for tonight. For shame. That's all good though. I'll need to make sure I get more stabilizers in for the next build. Alright. I've got these green ones, but I don't know, I don't really have an instance to use green or teal or red. So I don't really want to mix and match colors with that level of severity. I get the favorite switch question a lot. Probably going to go with a vintage black for that. I'm a man of culture. What you're looking at here, Justin, is about 1 month's worth of growth. So it's about 3.5 to 4 weeks right now. And I actually know that because I was just looking at the calendar and when I started growing it the other day. Oh, nope, we're good there. Look at all these spacebar stabilizers. I have a ton of spacebar wires right now. I do think novelty creams are good. I think you need to work on them a little bit before you lube them up. You want to break those in. And once they're broken in though, they're quite nice. Novelty creams have got a lot of modding and Frankenswitch combinations as well. So yeah, you really have a lot of potential with the novelty cream. People like using those stems in a lot of different housings. I think I have a bag of novelty creams in my desk drawer. All right, so that said, let's go ahead and start tuning these up. Hopefully we've got a good set of Everglides here. I haven't used these in a while, but these will work nicely, I think. We've got a smoky, clear housing with a gold wire, which I think will be perfect for our gold themed board tonight. Let's go ahead and get our paintbrush. Yeah, there's quite a lot to select from. I like out of the newer switches, I like Alpacas and JWK linears quite a lot. Pretty nice. Did I see the cream stabilizers? I did not. No. That sounds interesting though. Okay, so let's go here. Novelty cream stabilizers, huh? Is it Novelty that's offering them? I would assume so. This lube right here needs to be mixed a little bit with what we've got in the jar. There we go. Now that's a better looking consistency. The lid looked very oily. Not that zoom in, I want to do that zoom in. So for those of you new to keyboard tuning, welcome. You're tuning in at the perfect time. We're going over some stabilizer tuning here right now. If you've never done that before, my lube of choice for stabilizers is the 205G0. I very rarely sell my keyboards, Adam. I've been known to sell keyboards from time to time. I don't think I've sold a keyboard in probably a couple years though now at this point. I think the last keyboard I sold was, and I say sold, I think I traded a Viper to Simon. Traded it to him for an M65. Well, and then I got rid of the M65, so I don't have that anymore. So that wasn't the last one. Maybe it was, what was the last keyboard that I sold? I think the last one I've sold was probably, I think it might have been the LZ CLS. And I regret that. That was a good board. Shouldn't have sold the CLS. Yeah, a lot of people will sell boards to fund their next purchase. That's a good way of doing it. I have not seen R Key Customs, no. What is R Key Customs? AR? AR Key Customs. Huh? Are they a keyboard creator, or are they another vendor space? So yeah, so we start with the stabilizer tuning on lubing the housing here for the stabilizers. This part right where I'm lubing now is just the inside of the stabilizer housing. These stems right here in the middle are going to be inserted into this housing, and then we also insert these wires here off to my left as well. I'll be lubing the wire as well as this housing here with 205G0. That's pretty consistent though, Adam. If you're new to the keyboard hobby, most keyboard customs are sold without keycaps and switches. And so, also, you'll find that they're also pretty expensive. The most expensive keyboards aren't sold with anything other than a PCB plate and a case. And sometimes they don't even come with a PCB. Any desoldering tips if I don't have a desoldering gun? Yeah, exactly. I would get the Engineering SSO2. That's a great one that Bonbon? Yeah, Bonbon Boy just recommended. That's a good way to go for sure. Yep, that's a good solder sucker. It's not a fun process to desolder an entire board with a solder sucker, but if you're only doing one, definitely go that route. Don't get a desoldering vacuum for just one board. If you think you might do it a ton, then a vacuum is the way to go. But for just one board, no need to get anything other than a sucker. The Engineering SS is a great one though. I think I actually have that linked in the gear I use, listed down below as a matter of fact. I'm not sure. Is that in the tool section? You had to desolder a board last night, Sabus? There you go. Getting back into it, huh? Yeah, so tips for actual desoldering though, with the proper tools, be it an iron, a soldering iron, and one of those suckers, you want to turn the joints molten with your soldering iron, and as you're holding it there, where's my sucker? I have one of those suckers right now. Here you go. This is the one he's talking about. That's the engineering SSO2. And with that, what you want to do... Why is this... Oh, mine's currently jammed with something. Love it. There we go. There we go. Alright. With that, pretend this is a soldering iron. You want to touch that to the joint. So the soldering iron's touched to the joint. Keep it there. As it turns molten, make sure you give it a couple second count. Give it like a 1 second, 2 second as you're touching that iron to the joint there. You should see the whole thing turn molten and continue to keep the iron there. You want to bring the pump over the joint and click it with the iron still there. That'll pull everything out of your joint and make sure that you don't have any residual solder left in there. You'll start to get a hang of it as you keep doing it over and over again. You know, definitely it's just practice is going to make perfect with that one, but it's basically touch the soldering iron down, couple second count, bring this guy over with the iron still there, and just, you know, you just press this button here and that pulls it off. And good luck. It's always, always, always easiest to pull all the solder out of the joint on the first try. You probably will want to bring more solder to the joint if you don't get all of it pulled out. Attempting to desolder with a pump over and over and over again on the joint, if you're not getting all of the solder pulled out on the first attempt, is going to lift a pad. So that is the second tip. If you have difficulty with the joint and the switch is not pulling out, retouch that joint with more solder as you would just normally soldering it in, and then turn all that solder molten. The idea is the new solder that you've added to that joint will then bring all the solder on the inside, the internals of it that you weren't able to remove the last time. It'll bring all of that solder molten and then attempt to use the solder sucker again. That's my tip to you. That is the way to go for sure. And as a final tip, if you're still having difficulty, if you do that like, you know, 2 or 3 times and it's still not working, it's still not pulling out, the switch is still being difficult, then rather than go for like, you know, a 4th or, you know, maybe even in some instances a 3rd attempt, yeah, I would probably go for a 3rd attempt. But if you're not feeling it, the other thing you can do is kind of get a little dexterous with it. I'll show you here in a second rather than explain it. So give me just 1 second. Let me put this housing together and then I'll show you the final tip. Alright, so as a final option, what I would do, so say your solder is, or say your switch is inserted in here and it's giving you difficulty, right? You can't get it out. What I would do is I would use a switch puller, grab a hold of the switch and just kind of like then turn it upside down, get access to it here, and typically it's going to be one or the other of the 2 pins. Typically you won't have both pins giving you a problem, but with the switch puller firmly gripped here on the switch, kind of get like a little leverage with it. So like the switch puller would be like in your hand here, right? And you would have your like finger against the board, applying a little bit of pressure, flip it upside down, and then just go back and forth on the two joints, trying to pull the switch out the entire time. You'll start to feel like it go a little molten, and the stems will finally pull out. Don't be too aggressive in pulling it out, but yeah, you want to make sure you have a good grip on it and pull that switch out as you're touching both pins, like really literally, quite literally, with the iron going back and forth between the pins, attempting to heat that pin and get it molten as you're pulling it out. So that's the third and final tip there I can give you with that guy. The Otemu Skies were pretty interesting. I've only built a single board with those, but the board I built with them turned out pretty cool. I think I built them in a Space 65. If you check back through my YouTube content, Swiss, you should see that in my history. I had an interesting result with them. I actually liked them. And if I remember correctly, I typed pretty quick with them too. I've desoldered 2 full-size keyboards with your SSO2. Nice. Yeah, harvesting Vince. Yeah, if you're harvesting a lot of switches, that's when I recommend getting into the solder vacuum, the desolder vacuum game. Just grab a whole bunch. Get a whole bunch extra and then just make it worth your while. Like sell a, purchase a whole bunch to harvest and then sell the loose switches once you've harvested them. That's an easy way to pay for the FR301. This doesn't really sound like jazz. I've liked everything up to this point though. I'm adding a whole bunch of tracks to the build stream playlist. And we're gonna skip this one here in just a second. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. All right, next song. I'm not. I don't stream on YouTube. Nope, I just stream on Twitch, and then I export the VODs over to YouTube after I've completed the build on Twitch. And then I put up typing sounds tests for keyboards that are unique to my channel on YouTube. Things that I like the sounds of. And then I put up review content on YouTube. Which, as I was mentioning, I've got another Switch review coming in here in the next day or so. I'm hoping to release it tomorrow night before I go off on travel. So the next YouTube review should be up for the SP Star Switches on either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending upon where you are locally. And then I already have the next Switch review planned coming in. We've got a, what do I have next? The next Switch review is going to be the Dragon Fruit switches. I'm thinking of building a keyboard with Kale Pro purples. Do you like the Switch if you've tried it? I haven't tried that Switch, so I can't speak from experience on that one, as a matter of fact. Kale Pro Purples. Are those box switches? Raz, what's happening, brother? Good to see you, my dude. Okay, so yeah, they're normal style switches. Well, that's good. I was gonna say, well, I haven't used them if they're box style switches. I just avoid those. Not that there's anything actively wrong with them these days. I think box switches are generally okay, but I just after the intro I had to them, I just have never tried them again. All right, so left shift, right shift, enter, and backspace, and then our space bar, and then we should be all done with stabilizer tuning for the night. So how you doing, Raz? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a great weekend. Well, I hope your weekend was great, and I hope you're having a great week so far. Nice. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nothing too stressful. That's the way to go. I did. I put in about 6-7 hours today. I broke a little early to get some recordings done. I wanted to do some talking head footage for the SP Star Review video. And with that done, I just need to chop up some footage and edit tomorrow in order to be live with that next review. First freelance payment came in today. Nice. If I can keep this up, I'm going to stay a free agent. Very cool. What are you freelancing right now, Spike? Are you like a photographer or something? Or like web developer? What are you into? If you don't mind me asking, that is. Design, cool. There you go. Working in like CAD. And chat, by all means, feel free to tune in with any questions you may have about the keyboard build process here that we're going over. I just finished tuning up stabilizers for this build here tonight, but I'm happy to return to talk on stabilizer tuning if you missed your opportunity to ask us a question there. And yeah, we are going to go ahead and get into mounting these stabilizers now at this point, and then testing them. The big part about stabilizer tuning is you always want to make sure you have a good test on them once you're done. You take commissions, I do indeed. Are you talking to me or are you talking to Spike? I do indeed take commissions, if you're talking to me. Probably should have dumped all those out. That's a lot of stabilizer hardware. Yeah, no, absolutely. Bun Boy, go ahead and join up in Discord. And I have a build channel that has all the prices listed out for the boards. They're all percentage based. And so if you have and percentage based, I mean like a 60%, 65%, 40%, in between like a macro pad and a 60%, TKLs, full-size keyboards. I have it all based on the size and a flat rate. Because I chat with people on Twitch and don't want that necessarily reflected in the cost of me charging somebody per hourly. But generally speaking, most of my builds range in the $60 to $80 price point. So yeah, you can assume an average in there, $60 to $80. Yeah, lead time right now I think is bringing us into about the middle of December at the moment. And so if you're interested in having me build a keyboard for you, I think right about now you would expect a return to you sometime around the 15th to the 20th of December. And then with the holidays, of course, here in the next week or so, I'll probably start pushing that date back to January. I'm gonna go ahead and put a washer on this one. Crashdown, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get a washer on this screw-in one right here. So this washer right here, that red washer that I just put on that guy, is going to serve as an insulator for many of these electrical components on the board should that screw from the screw-in stabilizer be getting a little bit too close. Want to make sure I'm not bottoming out any of those components and cross-connecting anything on the PCB with this screw-in for the stabilizer. Hope that makes sense. Yep, this one's going to need one too. Let's go ahead and grab another washer here. Whoa, step cap sounds better for some reason. Interesting. Not sure if I necessarily notice a difference in acoustics between steps and standard. I do enjoy the aesthetic of stepped though. And stepped caps lock, the other main reason that I use a stepped caps lock on most of my, well, on all of my personal builds, is for compatibility purposes. I use a lot of OG keycaps, and just about every OG keycap has stepped caps for sure. So that's the other main reason. I think we're going into this guy right here. And yep, nothing there is bottomed out, so we should be good to screw these in direct. Screw those guys in direct, no questions asked. Yeah, we need to put in another order of stabilizers here too. Actually, it's come to think of it, I think I might already have done so. I've got a bunch of cherry clip-ins. Oh, Theremin Goat. Thank you very much. Is it, did I pronounce that right? Is it Theremin? Okay, yeah. So I love your Switch reviews, dude. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, and welcome. Are you on Twitch, Theremin? I don't know if you're on Twitch, but feel free, please, to link your blog. Theremin has got great Switch reviews, chat. If you're looking for Switches, and if he's tried it, he's got great content around Switches. He's got a good archive of them built up at this point. I do enjoy reading them. There it is. Yeah, as I was mentioning, I probably shouldn't have dumped all these out. I dumped out more than I bargained for with all of these washers. So let me try and get all of these back in this little bag. Keep my desk somewhat clean here before we move on. Next up, though, on the to-do list is to grab our plate out of the case here. So on camera right, we're gonna go ahead and take that brass plate and install that right on top of this PCB with these Alpaca switches. We'll probably go about 50% on the switch installation, test some stabilizers, make sure they are acoustically pleasing. And if all of that is checking out, then we'll go ahead and install the rest of the switches and we'll be on to the races with the soldering. No, these are round one. These are round one Alpacas. Oh, Thurman, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Going on YouTube is a great way to go. I've actually got a Switch review coming out. I've already been talking about it. I feel like too much at this point now. I've got a Switch review coming out here right before the holidays, and so I'll be putting out the SP Star Switch review. These guys right here. New tactile offering. Have you tried them yet, Theremin? They were interesting. They kind of, I feel like they kind of sit in a little bit of a middle ground between the heavier tactiles and the lighter ones. Lighter ones being kind of like your Mod M's, Ergo Clears, MX Browns, that kind of thing. And your heavier ones being like the Holy Pandas, you know, your Zelio V2s, and then, you know, I'd even kind of put like the Kiwis and some of those JWK tactiles in there as well. I think the SP Stars, like if you have your SP Stars are kind of right in the middle. You have your lighter tactiles, your heavier tactiles, and then the SP Stars I think are kind of like a good middle ground. That's kind of how I'm reviewing them. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this off my desk temporarily. Not going to go too far with that. We just want to go ahead and get access to our plate here. Interesting. We've got... Oh, and of course, I covered up hardware that I need access to with my mat by putting it on my desk drawer. There we go. Oh my goodness. That went flying. I don't know what I just lost, but it went flying, quite literally. this one's pretty, chat. This one is looking pretty. This hardware by default doesn't extend into the bottom of some of these sockets, and so I'm using I'm using like the flexi bit to extend my reach. Holds the bit out a little bit further. Every time, Adam. We are big fans of lubricant on this channel. Every single time it is worth it. In fact, even switches that are marketed as pre-lubed and not needing lubricant, like your Novel Key Silk series, especially Novel Key Silks. I feel like they went heavier on the marketing for not needing lubricant. All of them need lube. You might get a decent result from one of these types of switches, the factory pre-lubed, but you'll always get a better result lubing it up. So like, imagine anything that sounds good pre-lubed is gonna sound even better lubed yourself. Milk actually is working on some Novel Key Silks for me right now for an upcoming build. It's interesting. He messaged me and said tuning those up, he was able to get a film, a switch film in there, and he said it was actually one of the best results he has had in quite some time. He said that he really enjoyed the result he was getting out of these Novel Key Silks with the lubricant. Is there anything in between this? No. Okay, cool. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and park this guy back over here for the remainder of the build. I have a couple of screws within there. Don't let me forget that, chat. We'll try and remember that hardware is in there. I'd just rather not flip it upside down. It's a heavy piece. Alright, so one thing that kind of aggravates me here with this is that there's a screw here. I might opt to not put this screw here on this plate when I remount this. I think that's a design flaw, honestly. Going for the 7 mount option is the way to go, I feel like, in top mount. Adam, absolutely. Yeah, welcome. We try and keep this channel very beginner friendly. So, any questions you have, do not hesitate to ask. And yeah, to echo what Theremin said, welcome. We are very anti-gatekeeping here in this channel. You might find that on other channels where you have a little bit of gatekeeping going on and people kind of trolling newer people to the hobby, but I try and keep that out of here. I try and be helpful. And we try and be helpful as we build every elitist keyboard known to the keyboarding world. I think I've built more expensive keyboards on this channel than just about every other keyboard streamer. Well, at the same time, we're very anti-gatekeeping. Yeah, I agree though, Sabus. Okay, I'm not going to turn this upside down either because I think there are little acrylic pieces inside this TX to keep from those. I don't want to keep those. I want to keep those from falling out, and so I'm going to actually just keep this upside down and just place it over here. And we've got our plate. Boom. So with our plate accessible now, we are ready to return back to this. You can make your preference known, but don't try to make it a fact. Amen to that, Kiwi. I love that. I love that sentiment. I asked about the beard already. He said he is able to sculpt his face like a fine custom keycap. Okay, buddy. Yeah, so Adam, I generally rotate through all of my own personal boards. And if I find that a keyboard is not really making it into the lineup too frequently, then more often than not, I will start to siphon it out and have it find a new home. I haven't done that, as we were mentioning earlier in chat, in quite some time, though. I have not sold one of my own personal boards in a while. It's a fact, MX Brown's the best tactile. You know what? I was agreeing with Kiwi sentiment there for a second, but you know, I think that's an undeniable fact. I don't think even Kiwi is gonna argue with us saying that MX Brown or bust, baby. I have about 15. I rotate between about 15 and 20, somewhere in that range always, Savis. Max F beard hair artisans. Hey, I know a couple guys. I can reach out and make that happen. If you guys want a commissioned set of keycaps with my beard hair in them, I can make that happen. Oh, nice. The S7 Elephant. I built a couple of those actually, Theremin. Those are chunky. Those are some chunky boys for sure. I think I built one for Yeffy, I built one for Rich, and I think they were reverse colored actually. I think one was white on black and one was black on white, if I remember correctly. Follow Kiwi for more fact spitting. There we go. Yeah, do we have a shout? Yeah, perfect, Raz. Got a shout out for Kiwi there. Beautiful. Raz, I should have known you already had the shout out. You're on top of it, brother. Raz is the hardest working keyboard mod in the business. Have the beard hair shaped into legends? Like the alphas? Oh my god. Yeah, I actually think I have a Mode 80 Founders Edition headed my way here in a couple of weeks. So maybe in like December, you might see a Mode 80 build. A little lock of hair ensconced in an acrylic shrine. Okay. You guys are crazy. Yeah, Bon, I am. I don't collect as heavily as I once did, but I do have a couple of designers whom I still very much so still enter for and collect. These days I mostly enter for Art Key, lol, I enter for hello caps, bro caps, and ETF. I will roll the dice on gaffles, but I don't win gaff. I'm not on the inner circle for gaff. Yeah, sure. Here's a lot of my favorites here. So I've got some bro in there. I've got some alpha. I've got some clocks in there. And then a lot of this stuff are things that were like given to me, gifts and stuff. So I did a Prime Caps giveaway, and Frank and Lisa sent me that Albuman for that. This is a DC Yeti from Tiny. She gave that to me for hosting the DC meetup. I have a couple of aliens from a local keycap maker, Moist Gun. I love those. Death caps I like a lot, and everyone knows I love beige, and so I had to enter for that bad luck cap, and was lucky enough to score one of those. This is also a pretty random keycap. That's the what is that? That's the Randy. Is that the Randy Savage from Dana? Dana made that one. That was another one that I got locally at a meetup. These are. I'm a big monochrome collector too. So like these are some old school fugus that are pretty old. And then yeah, I love hello caps. I've got the Fukotsu as well as a couple of bongos. We've got the Popsy Skull from. I don't have any hungers. That'd be quite a flex. But I love that sculpt too. If I could get a hunger, I would die a happy man. But I don't have the trade fodder to push for a hunger key. But I do really like Hungerworks Studios a lot. Gaff teased some new colorways. Sesame Street Gaff so lit. Yeah. What is that on your face mask? What's up, DQ? That's my beard, brother. It's an extension of my face. The Taro? Yeah, the Taro bot is pretty good. Yeah, so the Taro, that's actually a Taro Mortal. So you can see there's a carbon bot there. And then those are the two bro blanks that go with the carbon sail. And then this is actually a Mortal. So the Mortal has like part of the face blasted away and a skeleton underneath it. And then I also collect a lot of Erebus caps. So Erebus is this guy right here. So that's the Erebus, that Reaper. I think that's one of the most polished bro caps sculpts right now. It's actually pretty underrated. And I have those. I have a ton of those, but they're on a bunch of keyboards. So like I love that colorway though. And so like here are a couple of my favorite ones. So I think I have just about every Paranoid Erebus that exists. So yeah, here's all the. So there's the carbon Erebus, and that one's got paranoid eyes. I love the Hyperfuse one. The Hyperfuse has got two different colored eyes. And then the Taro Erebus has also got paranoid eyes on it. It's like a super meme touch to put on your cap, but yeah, I love those. Oh wait, nope, that one goes here. Yeah, and I've got some other Erebus caps. I've actually got the Erebus when he had the Halloween sale. I got the Skelecrew Erebus as well. And so yeah, so I love that one. The Skelecrews looks like it's gonna be really, really nice. They look menacing. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely have a dark, demented look to them, that's for sure. I'll give you $20 and a piece of gum for that bongo? What kind of gum, though? Wanted to get the kiwi bongo. Yeah, the kiwi's great. The kiwi and it kind of like came off as like a real olive color. And so I actually have an olive keyboard on the way, which I intend on putting that kiwi bongo cat on the escape key. I think it's going to be a really nice look. So, oh, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Seems good. Spearmint gum? I'm gonna have to take a pass then. I thought you might have some like gum flex you were about to impart on me. How dare I? Hey, I'm just letting you know. I'll send you pictures when I have it all decked out. It'll be a good colorway. It'll be a good look. Did you see Diego's fruit salad numero? He had every single one of the fruit bongos, from his tilde to his, like, he had this whole row filled with bongos. I think he had the whole, did he have a whole function row? It might have been a 75% that he did it on. It was definitely some bongo cat flex in that picture. Yeah, Diego collects them too. He'll hunt everything he needs. I'm not big at the hunt right now, but that's so much more fun than the it's cliche to say, but the destination is not as fun as the journey, and that is very, very important that I impart that on you if you're thinking about getting into artisans. So artisans is like, if you think keyboards are expensive, artisans will have you scratching your head from an outsider's perspective looking in. They are very, very pricey. And it's basically because artisans are art, right? I mean, it's basically people pay what they feel like they're worth, and things get very hot and then cool off, and so you can find a lot of really cool sculpts for really great prices. But if you are hunting something that is like a flavor of the month type sculpt and cap, or a designer that is very sought after, let me just say, good luck. Good luck to you. If you are like me and you like monochrome colorway, good luck there as well. Black and white keycaps are very sought after, and so I don't do myself any favors by hunting those colorways. But it really is, it's all about the journey. It's all about the journey. You'll end up meeting a lot of cool people collecting keycaps. You'll forge relationships with the designers, and you know, once you've done that, if you look at it from that perspective, you know, as forming a relationship with a designer and an artist, rather, I should say, it becomes so much more rewarding. It becomes really enjoyable and rewarding. And yeah. And yeah, good luck. Good luck with it. Because yeah, artisans are a tough pull. I feel like, so like when I first started getting into artisans, cosmonauts were really, really popular, and that was one of the first sculpts that really caught my eye. I loved the Key Collective Booper collab with the cosmonaut. And so they were pretty much unobtainable when I got into it, when I got into that part of the hobby. And to give you an example, the cosmonauts are not actually that expensive these days. You can get like V2s and stuff for much cheaper than, you know, what they were selling for, you know, years ago probably. But everything is so expensive these days. I don't know if that's the case anymore. That was the case for a little bit. I don't know if it's the case anymore. All right, we're going in this spot right here. And that way, if we turn it upside down, yep, we're good there too. Flip spacebar heresy. All right, so we're gonna put some stabilizers here. And take a listen. See how these sound. Make sure we aren't getting anything offensive in the acoustics of these. And pending these all check out, we are good to continue filling this board up with switches. So there's another Twitch streamer, Lulz Stacks, came up with the method, or at least if he didn't come up with it, I credit him with it, that I'm using right now, where after you finish stabilizer tuning, you hold the stabilizer half down and you press it on the other side that you're not holding. What that does is man, these sound like they're silent. What that does is it makes it so without the keycap sounds, it allows you to hear if the wire is rattling at all inside the stabilizer. There's the lulls. Are they silent alpacas? I think they might be. They are really quiet. I'm gonna open one up and take a look. They are. They're silence. They are silence. Yep. I wasn't even thinking about that. Wasn't even on my radar there. But yep, it is indeed a silent build tonight. Hey, thank you again for another 100 bits there, Thok Thumbs. I appreciate that. Yeah, I should update that so that it says the proper thing with the silent alpacas. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not either. I'll be completely unbiased with you guys. I don't like silence because you can't really, I mean, hearing the keyboard is part of it for me. The feel is good and all, but yeah, you gotta be able to hear it. Hearing it is like the smell of food. I agree with that. And so with silence, you kind of get, I mean, you'll get sounds, but they're just not as voluptuous as you would get with a non-silent build. I was not even having that on my radar. I just assumed these were normal alpacas. As I mentioned, this is a client build, and so yeah, we're working with silent alpacas. Do you lube stabilizers? Absolutely, Adam. Yep. Really, any component that has plastic on plastic, we lube in the build process. And so I don't know if you tuned in a little bit late, but I've already tuned the stabilizers. And what you just saw me doing with these red keycaps here is putting keycaps on to test to make sure that there was no rattle in them. I do that on every build to ensure that it sounds nice. And it's pretty important. You want to make sure you've You've got the stabilizer tuned up with enough lube so that it doesn't rattle at all. Thanks, Sabus. Yeah, we'll get to a little drink here. Anyone drinking anything interesting tonight? I'm just working with water at the moment. Might switch over to something a little heavier here now that we're done with the important part that I need to focus on. Soldering is pretty brainless for me. I don't need to focus too hard on that. I need some beer. Yeah, you absolutely should. Don't let me peer pressure you into it, Kiwi, if you've got something important to do, but if you're just chilling like I am, you absolutely should pour yourself a drink. What's up, Hellbent? Good to see you, brother. Tuning in just in time. We're just finishing loading up this keyboard with switches and about to get to some soldering here in a minute. So chat, let me take a quick second and let you know real quick that we will be live, of course, after the holidays. There will be no stream on Wednesday. We are going to be taking off for Thanksgiving here, but I may do a stream tomorrow night. It depends on how much content I'm able to get done on this YouTube review, and if I'm able to get that released in time, I may tune up my HHKB. I've been wanting to relube this and get this done. I have new sliders to put into this, and so I may do a Topra stream tomorrow night. And so that'll be a Tuesday night stream, which is a little unusual for us. We'll see. I have not yet decided if I'm going to be going live with that yet or not. As I mentioned, it does depend on how effective I am able to be with putting that YouTube content out. If that is able to go live before 9 p.m. Eastern, then I'll probably end up streaming something tomorrow night. But then, here's the good news. As I mentioned, bad news, no stream on Wednesday. Good news, I'll be coming back into town the Saturday morning after Thanksgiving, and we have got a special event planned for you on Saturday and Sunday. So for those of you hanging out at family, mark your calendars for the 28th and 29th, because we will be live between the hours of 12 p.m. Eastern and just about 12 midnight, doing 12 hours on Saturday. We will also be doing a full 12 hours on Sunday. Now I say we. I'm teaming up with Alex Otos. We're going to be doing a charity stream for Movember. And we're also going to have on the show with us Chewy from Mechs on Deck. I'm fairly certain. Don't quote me on that yet. We're still confirming Chewy's availability. And then I do believe we are going to be having Jay from Top Clock and Prototypist as well joining us on one of those days as well. So we're going to be having basically the schedule, and the format of this thing is going to kind of be as such. 4 hours of either Jay or Chewy or myself or Alex, followed by another keyboard streamer, right? You know, we're just going to rotate between the four of us, filling in 4-hour blocks of content. And then in the evenings, starting at 8 p.m., we're going to have talk shows, basically. So Keebcast from Alex Otos, his normal Keeb podcast, is going to be Sunday night, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Saturday night, we're going to have a podcast, a talk show style show, I should say. A talk show style show on my channel with Jason from the Key Dot Company, as well as Susan, aka Melodica, from the Key Dot Company. So they'll be joining us and hanging out. We'll be going over a couple of the new releases on the Key Dot Company, where they're going in terms of the vendor space, obviously, and the new planned projects they've got cooking, and it'll be a good opportunity for Q&A, and there'll be giveaways all throughout the day. So make sure you tune in over the weekend there. It'll be a lot of fun. I promise a lot of fun content. I believe I will be building a TGR Jane V2 for at least one of my portions of the stream. I might be picking up a second 4-hour block on Sunday if Chewy's availability does not support jumping on and streaming. Like I said, he is the one unknown, I think, right now. We have not yet confirmed with Chewy. So, I hope you guys can tune in. It'll be fun. So let me catch up on chat here real quick. Do you like Holy Pandas? I did very much so like Holy Pandas when they first came out. I talk about this a lot. So the heavy tactile bump of a Holy Panda and many others like it is an awesome novelty that after a period of time, in my mind, wears off. And once that novelty wears off, I find myself looking for other more comfortable options. My fingers get fatigued with Holy Pandas, and so while I enjoy them for a brief period of time, I look for something different ultimately. But they are very nice. And I mean, I say the novelty of them wore off. I mean, it probably took me a couple of months for the novelty to wear off. I really liked them for a period of time. And what switch type are they? Holy Pandas are a heavy tactile, a large tactile bump. So your Holy Panda, your Zelio V2, I'd put the TKC Kiwis in that same category of a heavy tactile. Your T1s, yeah, those are all kind of, and then you have a couple of different like Franken switches that are in that same range as well. Yeah, those are all kind of like those heavier tactile bumps. You're doing a what and how long stream? Kiwi. I hope I answered all your questions. If there's still questions, Kiwi, let me know. But yeah, it's basically going to be a charity stream, all for. I think we're going to have like a mental health Movember focus on it. So I know Alex has already got the mustache. I will have shaved my beard off, with the exception of my mustache. So I'll be rocking the mustache all weekend. And are you going to have a beard off with Alex Otos? Yep, that's the original plan. I'm pretty sure Alex has got me beat with the mustache right now. I don't think I can even see his bottom lip right now, let alone his top lip. So I'm pretty sure he wins. But I made an attempt was made. I gave it the old college effort. This is about a month's worth of growth. I can't grow it any faster than what I've done. Complex? Is it complex? Complex. I'm smart, big brain here. There we go, complex. What's good with you, brother? Should I use desk key films? No, I would recommend TX. I would recommend TX. And Kiwi, you're welcome. I think I overlubed my Kiwis. They don't feel as tactile. Sabus, yeah, so if you hit those legs, you could have done away with some of the tactility. Not necessarily a bad thing. I'd actually overlubed them myself if I were to actually try and use those. Complex. I was struggling with that one. All right, chat. So as you can see, I've loaded up. This is another little learning lesson. I've loaded up my switches here. I've loaded up my keycaps on the modifiers. That's gonna help me ensure I have all my switches in the right location, which I do. You're looking at a standard win key layout for this board here with these silent alpacas all loaded up and ready to go. We had our modded spacebar. The mod we did on the spacebar was a 90-gram spring instead of the default 62-gram. You see how I like marked it too? I put a little permanent marker on the pin so I could tell that I'd had that done. That's gonna give you a much better return on the spacebar than these lighter springs. What's the best films for Alpacas? The best films in general for anything. I like TX. I prefer TX over desk key films. Desk key films work. However, there is an issue with desk key films in that they crunch and bend and bust as you go to install them. And so you may end up utilizing more films than you set out to or even needed for your entire modding process. And so my experience with desk key films, while they worked, they were annoying to the point where I won't use them again. I got rid of the units I had, and I used them and I will not order them again. They kind of crunch inside the switch when you're putting them all together, and it's just not an enjoyable experience. Okay, let's move all of this stuff over. That looks good. That's fine there. Okay. Yeah, so too much lube, yeah, and taking the feel out of the switch. I can definitely understand that, Savis. How do I feel about Cherry MX Blacks? Cherry MX Blacks are my favorite switch. Vintage Blacks in particular. Preach Max, literally crunching desk key films as we speak. Yeah, so I mean, it's just not something I mess with. I'd go TX all the way. I love Cherry MX Blacks. You got to switch the springs to 63.5 slows. Yeah, there you go, Sabis. That's a good spring recommendation. I have all sorts of springs that I go to that are more difficult to find, but yeah, the TX springs and Sprit springs are pretty good options. All right, so the fan is running. We're gonna go ahead and turn RTX voice on to get rid of the fan noise for you. And that'll make me sound like I'm a little bit underwater, but I think that's a trade-off that is worthwhile. And then we're gonna be ready to go ahead and start with our soldering. There we go. All right, RTX voice on. Will be crazy stiff with stock springs on MX Blacks. They're a little bit heavier than I would like. Also, stock black springs are not of a good quality. They're going to have inconsistencies as well as a bit of a spring crunch to them. There'll be a little bit of a ping. It's not something you want to use. Spring swap. It's like $5. Spring swap. Lincoln Max, put me on them springs. They don't have links. The springs that I use are like old school and like sold out. Like I use Gateron yellow springs, old school Gateron yellow springs. I use 55 gram Cat Weiwei springs. I use 62 and 68 gram Cat Weiwei, and then the ones that I would use now would be 60 to 65 gram TX, and the slows. The Sprit slow springs I've heard good things about. I've not used those though, but those would be the ones I would probably most readily use if I were just buying new springs on the market now. Pen and pad strategy. There you go, Sabis. So another little learning lesson here. I'm going to show you guys real quick what I dub the Woden method. Woden is a former keyboard streamer who actually just had another recycler haul he put up on YouTube lately. So the Woden method is one where you just saw me do it. I'm going to do it again for you in slow motion, and I'll explain what I'm doing here for you. So you're going to go ahead and solder in one of the two switch stems. There it is. That one's soldered in. I'm going to go ahead and take my index finger and push that switch through as I turn this molten. There we go. And then I take the soldering iron off. It turns solid again. And then I solder in the other stem. What that does is that makes it so that I've got a good contact point here between the bottom of the switch and the top of the PCB.
I'll repeat that process as necessary for any switches that aren't making a good contact point with the PCB. It's important that you get that because it's going to help with the sound and the fitment of the switches on the plate. I mean, it's going to affect a lot, and negatively so if you don't have that proper. I'm just looking here. We're using good old 5-pin switches, so there's a good contact point between these. After doing the 4 corners with this method, I think we're good. I'm not going to worry about doing that method anymore tonight. Yeah, that's looking good. Ha, Raz, I like that emote. The studious little kitty cat. It looks like a bongo. It looks like a bongo cat. All right, top row ready to go. 4 corners already complete. Let's hit up this top row. So chat, by all means, feel free to jump in, ask any questions you have, be it keyboard or tech related. I talk video and audio components all the time on this channel as well. So feel free to jump on in there with any questions you may have, and welcome. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Max. I go by MaxF here on my socials. And I stream keyboard content here on Twitch 2 nights a week. Generally Mondays and Wednesdays, and then you also may get a 3rd extracurricular stream out of me over on the weekends. I already went over just a minute ago that we will not be live on Wednesday. We're skipping that with the holidays, but we will be back live on the 28th and 29th over the weekend. So make sure you follow and subscribe for future content, and hit up any of the other socials if you're interested in typing sounds tests and former VOD uploads. I do all that on YouTube. And I also add in Switch review content. I'm also going to be adding in I think my most heavily requested video on YouTube is doing a studio tour. And so for what it's worth, my very small office, I know it looks larger on stream, I'm going to do an office setup tour here video. I'll do a video on YouTube for that here in the coming weeks as well. I've been requested that so many times, and I've not delivered on that one yet. Any recommendation for overhead camera? Hopefully under $100. If you want under $100, you're looking at webcams. I would get a webcam, maybe like a C920, and I would do a light. I would spend the money on a light. Go used with the webcam. A C920 you can probably get from somebody not scalping you on YouTube. You can probably get one of those in around the range of like $40 to $50. But with COVID prices, it's probably absurd. People are probably selling them on Facebook Marketplace and everywhere else for like double the price because there are no webcams anywhere. So that's kind of a rip. But yeah, I'd go webcam, and I would spend any extra money you may have on a good light. You want to get like a light box. A webcam will look so much better if it has good light. They do very poorly with low light performance. My solder iron is a $30 cheapum, but I like it because I learned back in high school how to solder with shitty solder irons. Well, as long as you have a variable temperature iron, i.e. something that you can control the temperature with, and it doesn't have to be exact like this one is. It might just be a dial that has a number which denotes a range of temperature. As long as that range is not absurd, that is more than enough. You don't need anything crazy to solder a keyboard. You want to get within about a 50 degrees Celsius range. As long as your iron can do that, you will be more than fine. Was it the 63.5 slow spring that you said you liked? I have used that. That is a good one. That is a good one. You might find some consistency issues with it, but if you cherry pick and if you're okay with the quality of life of having to potentially open up the switch and remod it with a new spring, you will be just fine with those. How would you recommend mounting it? Not sure if I would use 2 webcams, one for face and one for overhead. Yeah, there'd be no issues with using 2 webcams, one for face and one for overhead. You would just select 2 different sources in your streaming software or whatever you were using. And to mount it, they have all sorts of like little arms. You can even get fancy with it and get like a microphone boom arm and mount it to that as well. That way you wouldn't have to like mount it into your wall or anything. You could just have it on like a boom arm and have that boom arm come over your head. You know, my microphone right here, I could have the webcam on that and come over here, and then it would just be straight down, right? You know, obviously I would not want it in front of my webcam if I were doing that. But yeah, that would be an option. Mine is mounted just because I don't want anything else clamped to my desk. I already have my boom arm clamped and I just don't have the real estate. Mine is mounted to the wall, and that worked for me. Basically, you just want to find what works for your space, and any other variables, right? You know, my wife doesn't mind me having that one mounted to the wall, but there are some things that I've tried to mount to my wall and ceiling in the office that she has seen and vetoed very quickly. So make sure it works for your circumstances. And the light is the big one though. The light is easy. The light is just on a stand. Generally, light boxes will come with a stand. Like you can get some of those like newer lights off of Amazon. You can get like a 2-pack of those light boxes and really light up a scene quite nicely with some diffused proper light. Probably looking in the range of $50 for that, to get those lights. And they would come with the actual light boxes. They would come with all of the screens and everything you would need to set the box up and diffuse it. And they would come with 2 stands if you bought a 2-pack, obviously. The one I bought came with like a little carrying case as well. The newer ones that I bought. I've switched off of that since then. I have 2 lights right now. I have one box light right there, which is a very large honeycomb to avoid hitting other lights off around my office. So it doesn't conflict at all with my RGB behind me, because I got to maintain the RGB. And then I have a key light, which is right behind my camera. So I have a key light that lights up my face, and the box light does all the work on the desk, pretty much. Yeah, so what I see a lot of people do as well, Complex, is that if you have like floating shelves or anything behind your monitors, a lot of people will like, you know, have their monitors on a nice arm, right? You know, and have those suspended over their desk. And then they'll have above their monitors, they'll have one of those floating shelves sitting above the monitor. You can mount your boom arm to that as well. And then you have it over on the shelf away from your desk, not taking up real estate there. And it's a bit more modular then too. I mean, you could always just take the seat clamp off the floating shelf and put it away. So that's a good way to go too, which I see people do from time to time. I've seen a couple streamers do that. Yeah, so mine is actually mounted. My camera is pretty heavy. I have an A6500 with a pretty big lens on it. It's a 14 to 24 lens that I think weighs in, like the camera, I'm not sure the weight of the camera, but the lens I think is like a 750 to 800 gram lens. And then the camera itself is probably about the same. So I'm probably looking at like 15 to 1600 grams worth of weight. So I actually have a full metal wall mount for that, and it actually interfaces, the wall mount that I have interfaces with the same mounting system as my tripod. And so it just it still has like a full camera mounting system on the wall mount, and I'm able to, like, all metal components, and I'm able to remove the camera from the wall and mount it onto my tripod pretty easily as well. Just kind of move it all around. And then I have all the cables and everything for that, all fished behind the wall and ran down to where they need to go. Power and capture card. If you're doing anything with streaming and outside video sources, I highly recommend avoiding Elgato equipment. With Elgato, you pay for their marketing and not necessarily the quality of their products. And so if you're going for capture cards, don't buy Elgato. I highly recommend going with like Blackmagic. Blackmagic is a high quality studio grade capture card that's going to give you a much better result, much more consistent result. And you won't have to deal with the bullshit of Elgato. I fell into their money pit bullshit and bought a couple of their capture cards when I first started and regret it. I still haven't swapped them out. I want to get Blackmagic cards. The capture card is what turns your camera source into a digital feed. It takes an analog signal and turns it into a digital signal that your computer can read. So if you have a camera that doesn't necessarily interface with a computer inherently, like a mirrorless or a DSLR, it allows you to take that source and plug it directly into your PC via USB or HDMI or whatever it is, and then from there view that source on the computer. It captures that input. They can be pricey. I believe the Blackmagic 4K cards are somewhere in like the $200 range. But they have multiple sources on them. So while you're paying $200, so you're ending up paying about $100 per source with the Blackmagic card, which is about equivalent to the Elgato, and a much better result. If you play games on console, you'll need a capture card to stream as well. Yep. Yeah, and people that get like really into streaming like video games, oftentimes they'll actually have a full system that captures the content for them. They'll actually have like pro gamers who do it, right, consistently. A lot of times they'll have a gaming PC and they'll have a capture PC. They'll basically be sending the game signal and their audio and video and all of that to a mixer in between the gaming system and capture system, and the capture system is what's actually streaming to Twitch or whatever else. I was watching one guy set up. He actually had two ISPs set up. He had a dedicated gig link for his gaming system, and he had a second dedicated gig link for his streaming setup. That's overkill. But game recognized game. So, not cheap at all. Absolutely not. Just talking tech. Yeah, exactly. Just talking tech, getting some soldering done. are just at about the halfway mark on soldering this keyboard. That said, the soldering portion of the stream is always, in my opinion, the best time to run over some sponsor reel. So, that said, chat, I want to thank zealpc.net. If you are on the market for a set of Zealios, Telios, Helios, Zeal stabilizers, maybe some Xylants, or any other products off of zealpc.net, please consider using my affiliate link below. We're also sponsored by Project Keyboard. Project Keyboard is actually in between group buys right now, but add them to your favorites and consider using, again, the link below when checking out with Project Keyboard to help support my stream as well. We're also sponsored by the Key.Company. The Key.Company right now is running DSA Magic Girl. It's Infinikey's first stab at DSA keycaps. I was able to feature a set of them on my channel, and the legends came out really nice. The legends and colors, everything on them look really, really good. They are thinner than I would have liked, though. They're just marginally thinner than I would have liked. Would have liked to see them a little bit thicker. But that said, I'd say overall a pretty good keycap set, and consider that if you're into the DSA profile. TKC is also your spot for see-through stabilizers. They've got a brand new stock of lube on their website right now. I think the only thing they are back ordered on at the moment is the GPL 106 oil. So you can grab all your 3203, 3204, 205G0, 105, and 106 from their website. And it's my go-to for stabilizers for sure. Those C3 V2 stabilizers are undoubtedly the best on the market right now. So big shout out and thank you to the Key.Company, and check them out if you're on the market for any keyboard accessories or keycap sets perhaps. And then last but not least, we've got mintautumn.com. Mint Autumn and Jack Static are a long supporter of the stream. Jax is in between buys right now, working on fulfillment for the Rue kit, but he's got the brand new TKL that's going to be released to group buy here soon. You should absolutely favorite his website and join up on his Discord to receive announcements when he brings those sales live. You should also absolutely follow Jack Static on Twitch. He streams every now and then. You can catch him designing keyboards and talking keyboards as well. I wanted to get Alpacas, but they were sold out recently. Yeah, Alpacas are a hot switch on the market right now. The version 2 of them sold out pretty quickly as well, if I'm not mistaken. Good luck in the aftermarket hunt. And you know, I gotta say, I would wait, and I would consider other JWK linears. They say they are. They say the JWK linears are just all recolors. You know, I don't know if they necessarily is 100% true, but the similarities between them are all very, very, very similar. If there are any differences, they're very nuanced, and so, I would consider any JWK linear you can get your hands on. So don't FOMO on the alpaca, right? Do I have any investor viewers up in here? For those of you not following the FOMO acronym, that's fear of missing out. Don't get the fear of missing out and overspend on a Switch. They're already expensive enough as is. Spending aftermarket prices on Switches is just absurd. But the cute pink aesthetic, yeah, there you go. That is something that they've got going for them. I really wanted to make some since I got the supplies. Been waiting for a proto for the board. What did I miss, Kiwi? Make some of what? Use me tune up some alpacas. I'm gonna make some cream packets. I haven't tried that. I've got the fixins I would need to make that. I might give that a little test, see if that's worthwhile. The last mod I did with the creams was putting them in Zeal housings. If you go with Zeal or Alias housings, the cream stems are really good in that. Both a good acoustic and feel. Okay, chat, we are down to the last row here. This sounds dangerously close to Christmas jazz. And I will not allow Christmas jazz. This right here sounds dangerously close to it. This is the closest I will allow to Christmas jazz. You know it's coming, chat. Everything we can do to avoid it, I will attempt. But you know you're gonna be in a department store here and you're just gonna hear it everywhere, like the Christmas store everywhere you go. It's coming. That little riff at the end, man, we might have just listened to a Christmas jazz song. Hi, I work in a deli and I still love Christmas. I get sick of Christmas songs immediately. Like, I can tolerate them for like a day, and then I'm done. And it's like, as soon as Halloween is done, they're like, time for Christmas music. Now, luckily, with the pandemic, I don't go out at all ever. And so I haven't encountered it because I haven't been going out into public, but I'm sure it's out there. All right, chat. We made it. It's another keyboard soldered. Let's go ahead and get a quick visual inspection on this guy. Okay, let's see what we got here. Did I miss any? Looks good to me. I think we got them all, chat. Let's go ahead and plug in here, and before we turn off the fan and everything else, let's just check and make sure our PCB is good to go. LEDs look good. Really? The escape key, huh? Escape key doesn't feel like working? That tested out successfully before we built it. Maybe we just have a leaf issue on the escape key here. Looks like we do, unless I forgot to solder it. That's why we test it, chat. That's why we test it. Nope, the escape key is soldered in, so let's go ahead and swap that switch out. Alright, well here's an opportunity to see the engineering. Max is Aquaman. I want to turn off RTX voice. We're almost there. But yeah, don't worry. I'm getting aquatic right now. Didn't come out. That's fine. Okay. There we go. Alright, and let's put in a new one of these. You know I gotta be here for the TKL. That's what's up, bro? We got Kimchi up in here. And Santos too. What's up, guys? Good to see y'all. It is indeed. This 87 SE is indeed a unit. I will weigh it when we finish because this TX has got some weight to it. Alright. Before I even tin my iron, let's test and make sure the escape key is now working. Hey, it was just a bad switch. Okay, cool. Yep, just a bad switch. Alright, we are groovy here, chat. Let's go ahead and clean the iron and tin it. Close down that. Go. Okay. I think you are fish at this point. Okay. Miss your face, Mr. Coleslaw. Wait, who's Mr. Coleslaw? Okay. RTX voice is about to go off here in a second. Hopefully I don't lose my camera or microphone. If I do, I'll be right back. Alright, camera's good. Microphone's good. Hey, a non-scuffed stream. That's what I'm talking about. And RTX voice is off. Boom. We're back, chat. Let the water drain from my lungs here for a second.
All right, I'm going to clean up my desk here real quick, and we are then going to get this plate installed back within this case. What keycaps do I want to put on this tonight? What keycaps? I wish I had Olivia. Olivia's the move on this board for sure. But since I don't have Olivia, we need to figure out what our options are. So let me think around that here while we get this desk cleaned back up. Yeah, Olivia is indeed the easy choice. We're good here too. These all look straight. The other reason I put the keycaps on is because you want to make sure that all the switches go on straight, especially around the sides that have like the Franken switch or the split Swiss cheesed PCBs and plates and stuff. You know, they look pretty good. I don't see any crooked switches, so I'm happy with this. So that said, what color is the case? You can see it right there off to the right side. It's kind of like a champagne / pink. Yeah, it's pretty. I should have stolen the Olivia set from the client. I think that's what they intend on putting on it. However, I'm not 100% certain. Beige would look good. We could do like a white. You know, it's been a really long time since we've done a white on black. We could do white on black on this too. That would look. We could do Analog Dreams. Analog Dreams is an option. Okay. This exact board? No kidding. Yeah, so here is your built aesthetic. It's pretty good looking there. Analog Dreams would be a good one. I'm partial to that set. We did just put it on a key cult a little bit ago, but we could absolutely break out Analog Dreams for this one. Just trying to think what else would look good. What are some of your more less common sets? I have, what else could we do? I mean, I have a lot that wouldn't really match with this color. I'll go over the full range here in a minute. So we can do Analog Dreams. We can for sure do Analog Dreams. We can do white on black. We can do beige. We can do Hyperfuse. We can do, I've got a couple of like OG sets, but with the standard bottom row, I don't want to do an OG set because most of those are 1.5. We've got Oblivion. The KA1953 is already on something. Don't want to do that. What else might work? Violet on Cream would not look good. Burgundy, no. I'm really thinking either Analog Dreams. Oblivion would potentially work. 8008, no. Night Runner, no. Vaporwave, no. Waves, no. Yeah, I think either going with white on black which I think would actually be pretty dope. White on black would look pretty good on that. Either white on black, a beige, or analog dreams. Why not burgundy? I feel like burgundy would look nice. Interesting thought there. I don't know if burgundy would work on that. We could absolutely grab it and see. Beige, always. You think Bingsu would work? I have Bingsu as well. We could absolutely do Bingsu. Let's put it up to a vote, Raz. Let's grab burgundy, Bingsu, beige, and just put beige. Literally just put beige. So do Bingsu, burgundy, beige, and analog dreams. Let's put that up to a poll. Throw 5 minutes on it, and we'll get to it here in just a second. Figure out what we're gonna do. And I am going to skip this screw here. GMK Striker. We're not doing Striker. I do not have Shoko, although that I can agree that would be pretty good. All right, so here is our middle layer with the acrylic. Ha! No hander bait. I do not keep hander bait. All right, here is the case. Goodness gracious, this boy is big. No, I don't even have Striker now. GMK Tifu. It's not a bad set, but man, it's just the aftermarket on it is so absurd. I could never get Striker. I'm on a strict not paying anything other than group buy price for keycaps. I just don't really do it, and so anything like that, I'm not gonna spend the money on. Yeah, it's just not worth it. But that's preference, obviously. Some people find that it is. Aftermarket on GMK Striker is like 500 plus. It's absurd. It's just because so much of it is from the promotion of Tifu. Like it's Tifu's set. Like that's what Nathan Kim put on Tifu's key cult. And so it got a lot of traction from that. It's gone down, huh? Interesting. Yeah, 350 is like the pretty much an industry standard cost for. Oh, the poll is up, chat. I almost missed it. The poll is up. Make sure you don't miss it. Check the poll, everybody, and go ahead and weigh in on what you would like to see on this board. Right now we got burgundy, beige, Bingsu, and analog dreams. So it looks like beige is in the lead, but maybe not for long. Burgundy is now tied for the lead. Burgundy and beige tied for the lead. What is it gonna be? I'll go with burgundy over beige if it's a tiebreaker. We beige all the things generally. Okay, how is the seam? Seam is actually not too difficult to get sorted out, despite it not having anything to hold it in place. The seam is not too bad on this thing. All right, so beige it is with an astounding 8 votes. I will put burgundy side by side for you. so you can see if it would have worked on this case. I think it would have been a gamble. Beige would have been a risky set. Or burgundy, I mean. Burgundy would have been a risky set. I will show you what it looks like. So Bonbon, you will be able to see if it would have worked. Yeah, I can show you what Bingsu looks like right next to it. First things first, take a look at this, chat. Boom. Cool little spot of color coming through, and the TX logo there, all lit up. That RGB kind of sucks. Yes, the diffusion on it, on the sides, not doing it for you there. That's old school. That's old school diffusion. Don't expect TX to have reinvented the wheel there on that. They've been doing that style of RGB with the middle glow piece since I got into keyboards in like 2014, 2015. My first was a TX1800. That was my first custom, and yeah, that was definitely, it's the same design, right? Okay, so we wanted to go with beige, so I'll need my modifiers from here. And then you also wanted to see burgundy, which is somewhere in here. Burgundy. Surprised there wasn't as much of a pull for Oblivion. People almost always pull for Oblivion. Alright, let's go here. Oh, too many keycap trays. Alright, so here is burgundy. So burgundy would have looked a little bit off, I think. That sort of like, this champagne sort of like rose gold, I don't think would have looked too good with burgundy. It was just it's just a little bit off. And then I actually have Bingsu available to show you as well. Where's my other keyboard? Where did I put it? I have one in a case here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I have a physics here that has Bingsu on it. That was another requested side by side. So here's Bingsu. And that too would have looked a little bit off. So I think beige was the way to go. I think beige was the way to go. Because yeah, that too would have looked a bit off. Casually pulls out an LZ physics. What's aftermarket on those? I don't think those are too crazy. I think those are within the realm of reasonable, aren't they? I might be wrong. Ooh, 1600? Wow. Aftermarket is just crazy on everything right now. All right, so beige is what it's going to be. So it's going to be a mix of this plus I've got these modifiers here. We're using this bottom row. So let's go ahead and get this launched up here. Oh yeah, that's a nice little, because I didn't put that in there, that's a nice little flex to the spacebar. Much better. So chat, I don't know if you caught that, but with the mounting
of the keyboard, I put all of the top mount screws in with the exception of the one that goes right here. So I will obviously include that for the client. However, I did not install it already because you'll find more often than not with keyboard design these days that is not an installed component. More times than not, you will find 4 screws on the top of your plate and 3 screws at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is generally where you'll find those top mount screws. It'll skip the screw right in here. I am. This is KA1953. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Do you guys want the special cherry enter key? A little pop to it. Yeah, this is a great set. It's one of my favorites. Huh, I've got multiple caps locks apparently. Okay. I think that's good there. We've got all of the modifiers we need. Everything else is going to be coming off the Ogre. So I'll be taking apart my Ogre to make this work, for shame. It was. Yeah, so the lock lights, that's an included thing on these older sets. You feel like it's elitist? It's not that elitist. This is an acquirable set. You can buy this set right now for $220 or something like that, I think. This is actively sold still on some vendors. I actually need to probably pick up another one before it sells out everywhere. Because yeah, this is such a good set. This provides such good compatibility and it has such fun legends on it. Where to get beige sets. So the beige sets I would recommend are this Cherry KA1953, Google it, and then also BSP die subs. BSP die subs are also of good quality, however, finding them might be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, beige is life. Beige is the way. I beige a lot. I put beige and I put wob on a lot of my personal boards. I actually need another wob set too. Yeah, I think the best price I can find on this right now is $220, I think. It was like $220, then shipping not included or something, if I remember correctly. This is kind of an interesting song. I'm not really digging it. Let's go ahead and mix that up. Here we go.
Beige was the way for this one though. Other than Olivia. Olivia would have looked really good. I think that's what the client is putting on it. But yeah, beige is the way for what I have in stock. For sure. We got a cool look to it. My Ogre half plate again as well. I love this keyboard. I've been daily in it for a couple of weeks now since I built it. It's such a good feeling keyboard. I love these switches, these Garys. Gateron yellows with cherry top housing. So good. If you haven't tried it, definitely recommend it. Any cherry tops will work. I full memed it with some vintage tops just because I had vint tops. I have more vint tops laying around than I do retools. And so I put vintage tops on these. I think they're just some wise vintage. It sounds like a cherry switch, right? So these ones sound pretty unique. Definitely thawky. But yeah, the cherry switch sounds are probably what's most responsible for the sound acoustic of it. But yeah, the Gateron yellow springs are just so good. All right, chat, here we are. We did it. Let's go ahead and get a view here of this guy, right like this. Say hello to YouTube, everybody. This will be our screenshot for the YouTube. And then here is the reverse. That weight is pretty cool. Look at that keycap profile. That's pretty good looking there. Okay. Yeah, quite clean. Turned out nice looking. All right, so let's see what we've got in terms of sounds, or should I say the lack thereof. Give me just 1 second here to get prepped up for that. I still have monkey type set on Bingsu from Yeffy's birthday stream. Bingsu was the last set we built with, I believe. Let's go ahead and switch it off Bingsu. Let's pick a different. What do you think, chat? What should we do for our maybe modern Dolch? I think the modern Dolch one turns out pretty nice. I think that one always looks good. Nice Rukia club? Which one? Which one, Jax? The physics that we had on the stream a second ago? This is a Rukia club? All keyboards. Nice. All right, let's go ahead and mute music here. I'll give you all a sound test with the mods first. Go ahead and mute my side as well. All right, did I cover up the keyboard there? No, I didn't. Good. There we go. All right. I gotta say, this is a much better silent board than what we had on the last one. I believe we had Silence the last time we did it, and we had a lot more crunch noises. Are the only O-ring silence. Well, no, there's no O-ring. There's a dampener on the rails of the stem, and it kind of has like a full 360 around the stem. It's an interesting look on the stem. Oh my goodness. I could have this keyboard like next to my wife as she's sleeping and she would never wake up. It's so silent. It's so silent. I've never tried JWK silent linears though. So I mean, if a silent is your thing, if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, I mean, this is a better result. I'd say these compare closely to Helios. Let me show you real quick the stem. Helios are the best linear silent that I've tried to date, and so I'd say these compare very, very closely to that. Let me go ahead and open this up. And I will show you what the stem looks like. Yeah, so look, it's kind of got like a full, I can see why you call it an O-ring. Look how it has like, it almost has like a full 360 around it. So it's definitely an interesting switch for sure. I've not seen, and I don't know if it's just because of the color difference, right? But I've not seen an implementation, I don't think, like that, where it has that O-ring almost completely around the whole side of it. So kind of interesting there. Yeah, it's kind of like what I've seen before is like pads on the top and bottom of the stem, not really having it all the way around. You can even remove it and make it basically a linear switch. No kidding. Is it just an O-ring that goes around the stem and there's just like a little cutout there? How about that? Learn something new every day. Watch, that's like the new meme switch and you just have to remove a bunch of O-rings from the silent stems. That's so funny. Now, I'm not saying that's a thing. I'm just saying that would be funny if that became a thing. Anyways, so there's your build for tonight. An aesthetically pleasing board, nonetheless. Some cool RGB highlights on it. and some silent alpacas to boot. So yeah, O-rings very much so in quotes. These are like switch stem O-rings, switch slider rail O-rings. Kind of weird, right? Anyways, where do you usually get your K1953? Google it. You can find vendors, typically Chinese vendors these days, that can have that, and I would just search for it. So, anyways, I think this keyboard is next to be tuned. I think I'm going to be putting this one on the books here for the next stream. If I do one on Tuesday, it'll be this guy. Have y'all heard my HHKB? You want to do another sound test so we can hear something? I don't think, chat, were you able to hear anything? I did the mouse for kind of like a reference. Could you actually hear it? Oh, I wanted to weigh it too. Before we go any further, before I do a sound test with the HHKB, let's weigh it. Okay. All right, 0. This is a heavy board. £8. 8 pounds and just shy of 1 ounce. So yeah, that is a chunky boy. It's got some weight to it. I've like been using this though. I'm like falling back in love with Topra. I know it's heresy, right, chat? But I am. I love Topra. I fucking love rubber domes. I like never curse on the stream, but I felt the need to curse. That board weighs more than Justin's baby. It just might. It just might. All right, let's do one more typing test. Let's see how quickly I can type on Topra. Expect slower than normal. I type pretty slow on Topra. Do I have this lined up right? There we go. And does it look okay? Does the key? Okay, cool. All right. You type faster. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like the tactility slows me down a bit. Okay, here we go. Goodness. Okay. We're gonna get it, and we're gonna get it like 115. That's what I'm calling. All good. 105. Yep, definitely not typing faster. Yeah, so what is Max typing on, and why is he assaulting our ears like this? Is that really that bad? I don't think that sounds that bad. Is it just louder? I mean, of course it's louder than what we were just typing on. I like that. I like the Topra sound. Topra is actually awesome. Yeah, so I need to tune this though. It's been a while. The lube is gone on this thing. This thing was tuned up at one point, but this thing was probably tuned up sometime around 2005. So this one definitely needs to be retuned. So we'll be doing a tuning video on this guy here soon. So hopefully, yeah. And I'll fight to the death on that one. Yeah, it's definitely, Topra's definitely a fun little piece. So my ultimate game plan for this keyboard is to have this as my constantly 100% plugged in board. I'm gonna have a shelf come in, and I'm gonna have my DAC and my amp moved up, or my DAC amp and my audio controller moved up on top of the shelf, and then I'll just always have the keyboard and M6 underneath the shelf. That's what I'm thinking. Are Topra keysets a thing, or is it super limited? Yes, the latter. Super limited variety. You might find them, but very, very limited variety. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, this is already a HHKB Pro 1. The Pro 1 is kind of like, it's a pretty cool case already. I don't think, I mean, I feel like it defeats the purpose of the HHKB. Like, the HHKB is supposed to be light. You throw it around, you don't really care about it. It's just, you know, a little light, cool, fun keyboard. And I feel like getting something super heavy kind of like defeats the purpose a little bit of it. So, say what you will. Formulate your own opinion. Call me an idiot. That's fine too. But I like HHKB just how it is. So, anyways, let's find somebody to raid. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. And yeah, follow the content if you liked it. Tune in next time. We will be live again at some point soon. Maybe tomorrow night, and if not, for sure over the weekend. That is ready to go. Let's go ahead and raid Lightning. I don't know what Lightning's up to, but we're raiding Lightning. It looks like he's building up an ergo. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's raid Lightning. Okay. Alright. I feel like after having the boards you do, it's nice to have something you enjoy and you don't have to baby. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of like, that's the beauty of the HHKB. So, that's the thought there. And that's what I'm also thinking, kind of just always having it plugged in, always on the desk. Despite being under the shelf, always on the desk. Anyways, thanks again everybody. I hope y'all had a wonderful night. I hope y'all have a great week, a fantastic holiday. If you're traveling, please be safe. Make sure you wear your mask, social distance when you can. And I will see y'all, if not tomorrow night, over the weekend. Thanks everybody. Make sure you tune in over the weekend. We'll have a fun time, lots of giveaways, lots of fun content between myself, Alex Otos, and the other keyboard streamers. Thanks again everybody. Enjoy Diego's stream. Toss him some Max F emotes and we'll see y'all next time. Later everybody.